Hey, 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 what's going on, good people? What is going on? I am Rochelle T. Parks. I am your health motivator. Hey, guys, welcome to another episode of Mindset Talks. This time we're in for a treat. We're always in for, I said every time we're in for a treat, we're in for a real treat this time. We have the one and only Miss Kelly Ferguson. Woo! What's going on, Kelly? What's going on, Kelly? How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing great. I'm blessed to be here. Just excited, energized, and ready to go.
Yes, excited, energized, and ready to go.
Mhm.
Ready to go. This is great. So I tell people, listen, I don't have no cue cards, no set questions. We're just gonna flow with this thing. And so I always like to let people know, like, how did we meet, Kelly? Tell the people how we met.
I was introduced to Rochelle through Tiffany Montgomery. Actually, I'm a part of one of her book clubs, and she introduced Rochelle to bring along this fruit and veggie challenge. And
Mhm.
so for me as a vegetarian, I'm like, yeah, I could do fruit and vegetables 7 days. Ain't no problem. It's real easy. But it really challenged me because when I first looked at it, I was like raw fruit and vegetables. I'm like, okay, I can do that. I can do that. And then it was like no sugar, no this, no potatoes, and it started making me think, hey, Kelly, can I really do this? But it was such an awesome experience. It was hard, I'll tell you. The first time it was hard, but it was
Yeah.
such an awesome experience. And it just opened my eyes to say, okay, like if you're really a vegetarian, you really need to start eating more vegetables. You really need to start experiencing what it truly
Mm.
means to be vegetarian. So it was great.
Yeah. And it's funny you should say that. You said you should really start eating more vegetables, right? So
Mhm.
I said with the person that's vegetarian or even vegan, I'm like, you got to keep the veggie and vegan. I mean, you got,
Yes.
most people are now, I'm like, no, you're not a vegetarian, you're a carbitarian. You know what I mean? You
Hmm.
eat way more carbs than you do vegetables.
Yeah, and that's
It,
exactly me. Yep. Because I'm like, oh, they'll think, oh, you're so healthy. And I'm like, yeah, I'm healthy, but I'm going to the fast food getting fries. Like it's not like I'm bringing some stuff from home to eat,
right.
but I'm still just getting the fries. So yeah, it was
Mm.
a big wake up call for me.
You know what? I mean, you stepped on their toe, not me. You stepped on everybody's toe. I mean, that's it. I'm like, man, I
Yeah.
think more people are more concerned with not eating meat than they are
Mhm.
with eating more vegetables.
Yep.
And so they just anti-meat. Like, oh no, I'm vegetarian or I'm vegan. I mean, I'm like, well, where are the vegetables though? I mean, because that's all I see is pasta and
Yep.
bread, and I mean, I knew a person that said, when the whole what the health thing came out, everybody was scared or whatever, and the person I knew, he went to Wendy's every day and got fries. He said, no more meat for me. But you went to Wendy's every day. I'm like, you're not getting fries, but you about to be diabetic, and
Mm-hmm.
cholesterol about to go through the roof, you know,
Yep.
because contrary to popular belief, it's not the meat that elevates the cholesterol. It's the carbs, it's the sugar. And so people, I mean, meat, has gotten a bad rap. I do believe we should have a more plant-based diet for sure. But it's nothing wrong with protein. It's nothing wrong with protein. So this is good. So you did the fruit and veggie. Do you remember how many pounds you lost that first 7 days?
I think the first time I want to say I think I lost 8 pounds, and I was
Eight.
shocked
Yeah.
because that was like, what? That come from? Yeah.
That's funny. Here's another revelation. So when people lose the weight, it's not necessarily that you lost 8 pounds of fat during those 7 days, but what happens is, because the bulk of our diet is filled with so much processed food and sodium laden foods that we retain a lot of water. So the body, I've had
Hmm.
people like because I have the private Facebook community or whatever, and people that hit me up on the side or in Messenger, or people that know me, they shoot me a text like, well, I didn't want to put this in the group, but I'm peeing a lot. I don't understand. I'm just peeing. I'm peeing. I'm peeing. I'm like, yeah, body's just releasing water. It's releasing
Yep.
water because you've been taking in a lot of sodium, which you retain water. So it's either that, or now that you're taking in a lot of water, be it through fruits and vegetables, your body cannot release the little water that it had. You know what I mean? And so it's just the body of God. I think he knew what he was doing, Kelly, when he made these bodies. We have all these fail-safe mechanisms. I mean, to protect us. Because if it was left to us, we'd be, rotten from the inside out. I mean, the skin would be crushed. You know what I mean? Like we don't take good care of ourselves. But he has all these things in place to you need a little water. Okay, keep it. Because we don't know when we're gonna get any water again. So you keep it and you stick it over here. But when you keep it, then you're a little puffy, and you can't get your rings off, and your knees are puffy, and your ankles are swollen, and people don't even see that bone on the side of their ankle. Some people don't see it; they don't even know that's a bone. Ankles are just puffy. It makes a difference. Okay, so we did the fruit and veggie.
Yes,
did that part right. How did we transition from fruit and veggie to health coaching?
I think it was those aha moments during the fruit and vegetable, which helped me to realize, like I said, that my mindset or my thought process of what it really meant to be vegetarian wasn't correct. And I had always, for the last, 10, 20 years, I had always struggled with my weight. And I was like, you know what, if this could happen over 7 days of just eating fruits and vegetables, what could I do with a longer term program to kind of really figure out how to make sure I'm giving my body what it needs to be the best that it can be. Because it was just that 7-day transformation was like a big wake up call for me. And so I was like, obviously me being a vegetarian on my own wasn't doing it. Right. But, if I can get some advice from somebody that I see, has the knowledge, has the experience, and I can see proven results from other people's experiences, why not take that opportunity and do that? Especially because I think I signed up not right around, but last year with COVID hitting, I had a lot more time at home, a lot more time to make my own food. So if I'm going to do it anytime, do it then. Yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, I think this was you, Kelly. I'm not sure. And tell me if I'm wrong. Just say I'm wrong. But when we first talked, I think you said, I want the Tanisha plan. Was that you?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, that was
yes.
I want the Tanisha plan.
Yeah.
I remember that. Man, that was 6 months ago.
It was a minute ago.
More than 6 months ago. Yeah. Wow.
Time does truly fly, but it's so amazing to see how you can transform in that time frame.
Yeah.
It's just been such a great experience. I can't even tell people how wonderful it is. I've tried to tell other people, my friends and family, because they see the difference, and I'm just like, it's Rochelle. It's Rochelle. I know it's God working through Rochelle.
Absolutely, absolutely.
It's definitely a worthwhile investment, and it's definitely something that is going to make a difference in your life.
I tell you, you glow. I'm sitting here, I'm looking at you. You're glowing. I mean, seriously, because I always say health is an inside out job. Like when this stuff starts to work well on the inside and it shows up on the outside, you can see it in your skin and your hair. I mean, just in your whole disposition, you know what I mean? Because it's hard to, I'm not saying people do it every day, but it's hard to be happy, and it's hard to smile when you don't feel well.
Yeah.
When your body hurts, or migraine headaches or joints or whatever, you're constipated, bloated. I mean, you know what I mean? When you feel icky, it's hard to smile, but people, they smile through it every day. But I believe they do it because they don't know that it can be different. They don't know that, as I said, better can be had by them too. Like they have no idea, because they just know what they know. They know they felt this way for some time. And it could be that their mother felt this way, their grandma, their grandpa, whatever. Everybody, that their siblings. I mean, when you get a certain age, I'm just, oh man, I don't even like hearing that, because, well, I just thought, I'm 40 now, or I'm 45, and I'm like, and what does that mean?
Yep.
I always say, well, show me where it's written when you get the certain age that everything's going to break down. Show me in the book. Show me somewhere where that's written. Nobody can show me that, but we bought it hook, line, and sinker, like it's the gospel. I mean, we bought it like it's written somewhere.
Yes.
And I'm like, but nobody can show me, So if nobody can show me, then it can't be true. It can't be true. So we control that, you know? And that was a revelation that I had. I mean, because I saw enough. I saw enough growing up. I saw enough of what I didn't want. You know, as an adult, I'm like, I don't want that life. I envision myself playing with my kids as long as, you know, God gives me breath to do so. I see myself running and jumping. I mean, you see 70, 80, 90-year-olds running. So what?
Yeah.
You know, what some people can't run today. They cannot run, like, cannot. I'm like, wow, and how old are you? You know, oh, I'm just 42 and you can't run. Yeah, that's not good. That's not good. That's not good. Okay, so if you could just enlighten the people, because like you say, you try to explain it, but it's kind of hard to explain, like this transition. So Kelly, just so you all know, Kelly signed up for my my 6-month program. She did 6 months. So was this August or September? August you signed up? Maybe the latter part?
Maybe in this August, something like that.
The end of August, yes. So 6-month program. So she had already done the fruit and veggie, got great results in that. Like, did the results continue along that rapid pace, or you know, was it a lull, or were you constantly seeing changes? Like, what were you experiencing?
So I want to say, I think I did the fruit and veggie challenge in June. I want to say, like the beginning of June.
Yeah.
And like I said, I was super geeked, 8 pounds. Yeah, whatever it was, I'm geeked out of my mind. But as soon as it was done, you know, I saw myself going back into my old habits, and so it didn't last. And that's kind of why I reached out, because I'm, you know, like, I'm frustrated. Like, you know, I know that her program, or Rochelle's program, works, but obviously, if I'm trying to do it by myself, I need some accountability, because Kelly would just fall off. So that was primarily the reason why I reached out, because, like, I'm sure, like, other people, I'm somebody who needs somebody to hold me accountable, because I just know myself.
Right.
But I will say, I don't think I even realized the weight had started to come off. I was weighing myself like maybe every other day, but I don't think it really dawned on me that it was starting to come off until I think my husband mentioned something one day, and I was like, oh, let me go see. And I looked in the scale, and I was like, wait a minute. And I looked at my face, because I always tend to lose weight in my face first. And I was like, yeah, you know, I see a difference. And even more so than the weight, I started, the other benefits I started seeing was that, you know, like my rings, my wedding ring, I could never pull my wedding ring off. Even when we got married, when we were sitting there at the altar and he was trying to put my ring on, it was like,
wow.
It was a struggle. Wow. And I was like, please don't let nobody else see him struggling to get it on. But just when the first time I could just like easily pull it on and off, I was like, wow, you know, that's the difference. Or my husband claims, I don't agree with this, but he claims, you know, that I stopped snoring, because he's like, yeah, you know, I can always tell. But like, it was just those little things that started making me realize that this definitely is something that's transforming on the inside out. So even if you don't see the scale always moving down as quickly as you think it might, there's all these internal things that are going on that are just becoming some beautiful thing inside you, just waiting to burst out at random moments. And then one last thing I can think of is my stylist. She always tells me, you know, I can always tell you when you're on your taking your vitamins. And I can tell you, whenever I'm like going real hardcore with the fruit and vegetables, my nails, my nails are so freaking strong right now. My hair, everything is just like in the tip top shape. Like you said, my skin just starts to glow, because it's what's working on the inside that's just showing on the outside.
I hope y'all listen to that. What's going on the inside, it works on. Come on, this thing. Listen, when you give your body what it needs to thrive, it will. I mean, all these little sayings that God gave me, all these little sayings, right? I mean, he just, when I'm trying to convey to people what's going on, you know, God says, say this, and they just kind of stick. But that's it. When you give your body what it needs to thrive, it will. And I don't care. People can. I remember I was on this was maybe a couple months ago, 3 months ago, and Tiffany had me on one of the calls with her KEU or whatever. You know, it was on the phone like that. And everybody kept asking, you know, I got this going on, I got that, and basically asking for my advice. And I felt kind of bad, because my response every time was, what are you eating?
Yeah.
What are you eating? And I know they probably was like, she don't know what she's talking about. But I'm just like, because it goes back to your food. And people just do not connect the dots. Right? I'm asking her about my back, and she asked me about food. I'm like, yeah, it's by information. I'm talking about my toe or my knee or my elbow or my shoulder. I mean, and it's just, I mean, even it's so much. I look at not just women, men too, and and their faces all broken, and I'm just trying to imagine what they're eating. I'm like, man, what are they eating that their faces like that? Because that's just toxins. I mean, stuff just. I mean, this thing, man. They say it's simple, but it ain't easy. But it's crystal clear to me when I see what people eat, or when I see what they're experiencing, I can almost envision what they're eating.
Yeah.
Or if I see what they eat on a routine basis. When I was working, I used to, I'm working with people, I see the stuff they eat. So I can almost guess what they're feeling. I'm like, oh, their knees are shot. Their knees are sore. You know what I mean? When they get out of the bed, they first of all, the alarm probably can't wake them up. They probably the snooze. They're dragging. Their bowels aren't moving that great. I mean, I can look at a person how they're chewing. I'm like, oh, they don't chew their food too well. They got digestive issues. I know they do because they're not even allowing. See, part of the whole digestion is masticate, it's chewing. That begins it. And if you're not chewing, then you jacking it up from the get-go. I mean, so I can't turn it off. I'm just looking at stuff all the time. I remember with my husband and I, we were on a plane and we were sitting in our chair. This was pre-COVID, but back in the day, they used to serve you food on the plane. But this wasn't that long ago. But the guy was a young guy. He brought on a burger. He had a burger in a bag or whatever. And so we were sitting, and he wasn't directly across from us. He was like one row up, but across. And this guy, I promise you, ate the entire burger with like 3 bites. I said, Pops, I said, he's young now. He's probably no issue, but he's going to have digestive issues. He was at, I mean, he chewed and he swallowed. I said, oh, it was scary to see. But it was like 3 bites. I said, he's going to have problems.
Yeah.
He's going to have problems. So this is the stuff that I'm observing all the time that people think is no big deal, but it is a big deal. It is so much a big deal. Chewing your food, drinking water, just eating like little, Rochelle, what's the big deal? They're young. Let them have this. I'm like, yeah, you were young too. And look at you. Because they let you have that. You know what I mean? People don't think about that. You think about the kids. I'm like, but you were the kid, and they let you have it, and now you're in my program. You see? So when are we gonna stop that? Nobody thinks about that. They think about the kid, but you forget that you were once the kid.
Yeah.
And so it just puts it in perspective. Because I know some people were overweight. Most of their lives, but most overweight, adults were skinny kids. So everybody didn't have a weight issue all their life. Some people were skinny, and then as they got older, that stuff just caught up with them. Those people that thought I could eat whatever I want and it'll never catch up with me. Yes, it does.
Yes.
Yes, yes, it does. Yes, it does. Oh man. Okay, so here we go. We reached out. We started. I want to ask you how much you lost, but I'm gonna say that to last. Let's talk about clothes. How soon were you seeing a difference in your clothing?
So I was wearing a lot of relaxed clothes, so it was a little hard to tell. But I know that I think one of the biggest transformations for me was I did a photo shoot in the beginning of June, and I had measured myself and done all those things. And by the time, and now keep in mind, June was before I started with the program.
Right.
And so when I went for my anniversary, we were going out of town. And that was like mid-October. So this is about a good 2 months into the program. And I was like, okay, let me just pull out some nice clothes, because we're gonna go out to eat and all this kind of stuff. And when I pulled out those clothes and I put them on, and this is something that it was one outfit that I had never worn. I bought it like 2 years prior, but I know if I had tried to put it back on in June, it would have been a hot mess.
Right.
And then when I put it on for our anniversary, I was like, well, dang, Kelly, you look this. I mean, like, I was geeking myself. I had to share the picture with my friends, my
Wow.
family. Like, dang, like that's like one of those moments where I was like, okay, I can really see that outside of like the standard sweatpants, whatever I wear, I can really see the change.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it was just like, it was inspiring. It was like, okay, you know, if it's only been like 2 months and it looks like this, what's gonna happen in other couple months?
Yeah.
Keep going.
Yeah. That's amazing. And it's so, I wouldn't say unfortunate, but because we're doing in the middle of COVID or whatever, and people working from home, so you might be in, like comfortable clothes, like sweats,
Mm-hmm.
and then so you can that could be good or bad. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people that gain weight and they don't even know they
Yeah.
gain weight because they wear sweats every day. But wait till they try to put some clothes on and go outside.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, oh my god, I can't fit this stuff. So those
Yep.
sweats and tights and all that can hide stuff. But that's good. That's
Yeah.
good that you can see that. Had that experience. I had someone who just yesterday hit me up because she same thing. She's been wearing sweats and stuff and hadn't really put on clothes, and so she and her family went to church for the first time. You know, and she had to go shopping in the back of the closet, and she found a size 12 that she can get into. All her other stuff was too big. She shot me a message. She said, "I'm in a 12." She's like, "Oh my
Mm-hmm.
god." She said, "I'm in a 12." She said, "Oh, it's been a long, long time since I've
Yes.
been in a 12." And so
Yes.
she was super excited. And so those are moments that I treasure. That's the stuff my husband will say, treasures in heaven. He said, "Well,
Mm-hmm.
people can never pay you enough money. They can never, it's not even like, first of all, you can't put a price tag on your health, right?
Yeah.
So they can never pay you enough. So whatever it is not enough. You just accept it and just know it's treasures in heaven. You know what I
Yes.
mean? It's treasures in heaven. And so that's what I love. I love hearing these testimonies. I'm like, what's going on? What? And so many times we've had, done mindset talks, and I found out new stuff on my. I'm like, I did not know that.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't tell me that. Like even like the ring. Like really, you couldn't get the ring
Yeah.
off?
I always check. I'm like, that's a good check for me. That was one of the best things. I know it's random, but it's one of the best things out of this whole experience because, like I said, that's a firm memory in my mind, and my husband's struggling to put it on. And here I am 10 years later, and it's like, anytime I feel like it, I'm gonna take it
Boom.
off. So
That's
it's
huge.
awesome. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. Okay, so what does hubby think about this whole thing?
Oh, he loves it. He was so encouraging. Now I have yet to get him to. I keep trying to encourage him to do the 7-day fruit and veggie, but he's really staunch of I need some meat, which I'm like, you can have it after the fact. But he loves it, and
Yeah.
I know he's been trying to eat better, and he loves the fact that like I've learned a lot of different soup recipes because I love soup, but trying to come up with or finding these different soup recipes that aren't dependent on heavy creams or any of this other stuff, but just like really getting back to the basics
Yes.
of vegetables, water and seasonings, and he loves them. I mean, he like the other day I think I made what was it? Cauliflower beet soup because I had some beets left over, and I was like, it looked kind of pink and it was weird, and I was like, whatever, I'm gonna just eat it anyway. And he was like, oh, this is so good, it's so good, I want some more.
Really?
Like,
Oh,
okay,
all
go ahead.
right. All right. Yeah,
But
yeah.
he's very encouraging, and he's all going forward. He even like sometimes he's like, Kelly, are you supposed to be eating that right now? I'm like, I'm so
That's good. That he wants you to be around. I mean, everybody wants their loved ones to be healthy. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like I know with the whole experience with my husband, he said nobody told me I was fat. Nobody told me, like, you don't say that to people. Like you're over. I mean, you try your little delicate way to say a little, but you just love them, whoever they are. You just love them, But
Yeah.
deep down, you want your people to be healthy.
Yeah.
I'm not saying necessarily thin, but you definitely want them to be healthy and not have any health issues because you want them to be around. That's the bottom line. I prayed. I did. I prayed many a prayer for my husband. I'm like, I don't want to be a widow. I don't want to be left here to raise my kids by myself. And so, but I go around and say, you need to do this, you need to do that. That's not good either.
Yeah.
And so, just trying to lead by example and be an encourager, and you just love them. But I prayed. I'm like, clearly I can't change anybody. Like, God, I just
Yes.
pray, you know what I mean? And so same thing, I have family members to this day that I just pray for, you know, and when I get a call from Houston, you know, because that's home for me too. It's like what's today? So I think 2 days ago, I came downstairs to get on the bike. And as soon as I was getting on the bike, my phone rang. It was my sister. It's like 5:30 in the morning. Scared me to death. I'm like, this is not good.
Yeah.
You know, to get a call like this. I'm like, I'm like, hello? She's like, what's wrong with you? What you doing? I said, I'm about to get on the bike. What's going on? But it was bad news, but it wasn't somebody in our family. But I'm just saying, it scares me when I get calls at odd hours from home.
Yeah.
Just because everybody's not doing well. You know what I mean? Health wise. And so at the end of the day, I just want my people to be here. And so can't always convince my people, but praise God, I've got a lot of people in the country that I've been able to influence, and that's a joy. I mean, really, that I just, when you say unspeakable joy, it warms the cockles of my heart. You know what I mean? I'm like, it feels so good to hear these stories, and you know, and the like what's the top thing? I know you mentioned your ring, but what is it? If you had to, the best thing that came out of this thing for me was,
I think it's more outside of the ring. I want to say, I think it's confidence. It's belief that I can change, that God has given me the ability to change, that it's not just something that I say, but I can actually put it into practice and see a difference come about.
Yeah.
And I think your group is called the Mindset Maintenance, and it's so true about how everything really is a mindset shift, and how you're really just, the whole process is you're training your brain to think differently about how you approach food, about how you just approach life in general, because you're teaching yourself discipline. And in order to be a disciple, you have to be a disciplined person.
That's right.
So I think that's probably like the biggest, outside of my ring, because I just love that. Outside of that, that's the biggest takeaway I got, is that my mind can change. Like, I know they always, I think the scripture, and I'm gonna mess it up right now because I'm saying, but where it says the renewing of your mind. And I love that it's the renewing, because it means that every day you have to do it again. It's not just a one-time thing, but it's something that you have to consistently be aware of, and try to just, do your best to make sure you're making those changes that you need to make. And I think as you keep that mindset that, hey, it's not just about today, but I'm doing this for the future, that everything it might not go smoothly, but you'll be encouraged to keep going throughout the process.
That's great. I love it that you said confidence in knowing that even beyond this program, you've learned the tools, like you've seen it, like, okay, I can do this, and I have the tools to do it, and so my hope and prayer is that a person would be encouraged, while they're on the program, but empowered. You know what I mean? Like empowered to know, you know what, I can do this. Like this is not, I don't think anybody would say that this is hard as they probably thought it would be. Now that first 7 days, because it's different. The first 7 days, that could be difficult, fruit and veggie challenge, because that's new. But once you get into this thing and you get the rhythm, you're like, you know what? This is not even hard.
Yes.
It's not. I tell people now, I said, you know what? I said, I promise you, this thing is so simple, you will miss it. Like people, you may be mad. You be like, I'm spending all this money for this. Like this don't even seem like much, but it's not a lot, but it's so impactful.
Yes.
And I liken it to that's the way God has it. I mean, nothing about God is hard. Like everything is very simple. And my husband, I said, that's how we know God's hand is all over, because this is not a complicated program. It's very simple. Very simple. There's no hidden secrets, and it's no. I told you, we're not measuring anything. We're not counting anything. I mean, we're just eating God's food and moving our body. That is it. And so I was talking to someone today. She was like, "Well, just eat. Then what? How do you?" I said, "Yeah, that's just in the program. You'll get that. That what you're trying to get. You'll get that in the program." She said, "How is this working?"
I would say what's kind of crazy about it is, like you said, it boils down to a simple form or simple program, but at the same time, it's amazing how just following these simple guidelines can affect so many different people in so many different ways. So whereas I might not have the same issues as somebody else, if as long as we still follow the same guidelines of the program, we can still get similar results. I mean, your health can be repaired by just following, like you said, very simple Bible-based, easy as can be, just a program. You just have to be, like I said, you have to change your mindset to say, okay, I'm going to do this because I know that this is what's right, this is what's good, and it can truly make a difference.
Yeah. And you just said something too. You said changing the mindset, because I believe everything starts in the mind. That's why mindset maintenance, right? Mindset, you have to transform your mind. And it is by daily renewing of the mind. But some people will do exactly what you tell them to do without they're not changing their mindset, and they may get results. They may, but they won't last, because I call those false positives, right? Like you can't trick the system. You know what I mean? There's no loophole. If you don't change this, it's not gonna work.
Yes.
You know, and so sometimes I believe, this is what I believe, God will withhold progress or withhold results or whatever, because the premise under which you did it was wrong from the beginning. You know what I mean? Like no, you're not gonna get it that easy. You can't trick the system. You know, and that's what some people try to do. They try to trick the system, and they're like, you can't. You know, you can't. If you don't, and I'm telling you, if you don't change this, and like you just said, if you don't accept that, so people are always looking for, I need proof, or I know. You just need to know that when you give your body what it needs to thrive, it will. You need to know that even though you may not like these vegetables, you gotta know and accept that when you eat them, though, it's gonna do a great work on the inside. You have to. It's kind of like being a believer. When you don't know, you weren't even around back then, but you believe that.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I mean? The same thing. You got to just accept it and believe it and just go with it. And I promise you. But people, and I don't see anything, and it's not gonna work for you. It's just not. This right here. You gotta, people, they want to see. Well, you've seen enough. You've seen this person. You've seen that person. You've seen that. Yeah, but that's them. What about me? This is stuff I deal with, Kelly. I promise you, this is stuff I'm like,
I believe it.
I said, I'm not in the convincing business. There have been so many people that have, experienced these results. I'm not, and maybe it's not for you. Okay, clearly your mind isn't where it needs to be successful in this program. And honestly, I've had to deny some people. I have, because their mind. I'm like, no, because you're not even thinking right. No, I'm gonna do exactly what you tell me to do. No, that's not. This. This. And so you said it, you have to accept and believe that this is what's good for me. I mean, like this is what, like Hippocrates said, let food be thy medicine and medicine be thy food. Like food, like food is the foundation. Food. People say, well, the exercise, I can't really exercise because my knee. I'm like, that's okay. That's a small part of it anyway. I'm gonna get results without exercise. Yeah, no, we'll get up to it. But no, we're not even really concerned with exercise like that. Like that's so. You got to write your book, Kel. You got to write the book and tell the story. Because people don't believe me. I've been talking and people like, Rochelle, this is not making sense. I'm like, well, maybe not. But I'm just telling you what's happening with this person and that person. I mean, like, now we have people on the West Coast, up north, on the East Coast, down south, Midwest. I mean, we're people all over we got people in Canada now, all over the country, that are experiencing these results. And I'm just sitting right here in Maryland. I'm just sitting right here in Maryland. And this is happening. My husband, we laugh, we say this program is COVID proof. It is. It's COVID proof. It doesn't matter. We don't even have to. I've never seen you in person.
Nope.
I'm gonna see you next month though. Never seen you in person. Half the people, other than my people that are local here to me, I've never seen them. Tanisha and Rod, I've never seen them in person. And we're like this. I've never seen them in person. Never. Who knew?
Yeah. It's amazing.
It's amazing that this program can bring together so many people, and it becomes like a family. Like somebody was saying, Miss Annette Cooper, who's in North Carolina, I believe. North Carolina, she put on mindset maintenance. She said, when she said in 2023 though, she said in 2023 you got to have a big picnic and invite everybody. All Mindset family needs to come, and we have a big picnic. And but that's what people feel, People feel the sense of family, the camaraderie. Everybody's rooting for each other. I tell people, you got your own private cheering squad in Mindset Maintenance.
It is. It's very welcoming. Yes.
Very. I mean, you just gotta act like you're trying to do something. People will cheer you on. Like, I need help. I need accountability. Give me a recipe. Give me this. People start dropping stuff. I love it. It's a great place to be. It's a great place to be, and I'm glad that I thought to put it together, because it actually was birthed out of really like something for people to do beyond the fruit and veggie. Because it was I started the fruit and veggie of August of 2018, and I put people in a private group, which is this group. I just changed the name, but it was called Fruit and Veggie Challenge. That was the name of the group, and everybody was in this group. And then it was like over 200 people. When that first time I did it was over 200 people, and it was free. Everybody did it. And then it was like, okay, now now what do I do beyond 7 days? I'm like, I got to keep them in the group. And now what do I name it? I said, and this is exactly, I said, I got to have something where they can maintain this mindset. Mindset maintenance.
There you go.
Change the name. And then people, had to subscribe to the group, but that's actually how it happened. It was so organic. Like, I didn't even plan for that. That's just, how it happened. And then I didn't plan for Sugar Ain't Sweet. You know how that happened, with my husband. I mean, yeah, it just, God, Who knew I was going to make Kelly Ferguson? And then that she would be where I'm from.
Exactly.
That she would attend the same church as my sister and my niece. I mean, come on.
That was differently. I don't think I came to the word, but yes, that's crazy. I will say, I wanted to point out one of the things that is not necessarily with the program, but I know part of things that Rochelle does is she highlights a lot of different supplements you can also take. And she got me, I don't have it with me. I don't know where it's at, but I do know where it's at, but it's not with me. But one of the things I started taking was this daily vitamin pack. And I mean, I just feel so much more energized when I take it. I feel the difference. And it's also amazing because, like I said, my husband, he's been kind of feeling a little bit out of sorts in recent months. And I finally got him the male version of the supplements. I got it for last month. I was like, I'm gonna just get it one time and just have him see how it goes. And like within the first 2 days, he was like, oh, wow, I feel so much better. Because he has some acid reflux. He's like, my esophagus just feels so much better. And I'm like, yeah, it's like, because you're taking these vitamins. So every day I have to remind him, it's like, take your vitamins. And it's so amazing. Like, and I don't know if you can kind of describe the Shackley products, what I'm talking about, but nothing else. I encourage you guys to at least get these vitamins because they make a huge difference.
Yes. So you're talking about the Vitalizer, the strip.
Yep. Yes.
Right, which is the same thing. Tiffany swears by him. Tiffany Montgomery swears by him. But it's a strip. It has your probiotic, right, which is good for digestive health. It has your BC complex, right, and your B vitamins, right. It has your multivitamin, which is just your traditional multivitamin. It has fish oil, that's your omega-3 fatty acids. It has vitamin E, which is great for immune health. And so it's kind of everything you need. And like, if somebody said, well, okay, what should I take every day? Because people, Rochelle, what should I take every day? Like, I ain't going to take all the stuff you take. Just tell me the top 4 things I should take. I say everybody should have a good multivitamin, a reputable omega-3 fatty acid, fish oil, vitamin D, right? And a probiotic. Those are the 4 things everybody should take every day. Like, if I had to pick 4, those are the 4. And all of that is in the strip. All those things are in the strip. And I, too, take it every day. My husband takes it every day, and we have since 2012, right? So July will be 9 years that we've been using these supplements. And not only me, my kids, to include my son, who's no longer here. He's in Atlanta, but he takes supplements, too. And we've shared them with our church family and, our family and just friends. I mean, I've shared these with over thousands. I mean, thousands and thousands of people. I've shared these products with, and so and people have amazing results. So
Yeah.
with your experience and with your husband's experience, and that's common. You know, that's common. I remember the first time a friend of mine at my church took it. She said, "Rochelle, okay, I'm gonna tell you these two experiences. One lady said, I didn't know anybody. I felt like I had an energy drink or something, like one of them energy drinks." I said, yeah, that's one. Now, one was a little extreme. This one female, okay, I had two of them. One of them, it was one of my old soldiers who called me. I mean, she had retired, but she was working as a civilian, you know, in my building, and she had started the Shaklee supplements. And she called me like 10 o'clock at night, said, "Girl, what's in these supplements?" She said, "I can't go to bed." That was one. And then another one, another female in my church, she said, "Rochelle, what is in it?" She said, I'm wired. I got so much. I'm not used to this much. Like, what's in it? What I got, feel like it's, she was on my crack. I was like, "There ain't no crack in this stuff." But she was just like, I just had so much energy that I wasn't used to it. You know, I'm not used to, usually in the, you know, in the evening, I'm winding down, I'm kind of mellow. She said, I feel like I just want to do something. And, I said, "Yeah, this is good. You know, this is good." And so, so she takes it, you know, both of those ladies, it's on auto ship, and it has been. And that was like 4 or 5 years ago with both of them, you know. Well, with the military person, that was probably about 7 years ago, you know, because I've been retired for 2.5 years. So that was probably like 7 years ago that happened. But yeah, it's just been amazing. This has been an amazing ride to share those supplements. I know people don't necessarily hear me talk about them every day. But I promise you, I have not missed a day, Kelly, in almost 9 years.
It's good. It's good. It's good. And like, I think, I don't know how I think I had fallen off, or I ran out a week, but now it comes so quick. I was like, I'm not going to miss that auto.
Don't do that.
Yeah. So it's here way ahead of time. And I definitely see the difference in taking it, outside of eating better. Is you always need to also have some vitamins as well, some additional vitamins as well, to make sure you're doing it. So yeah.
Absolutely. And my hairstylist, she says the same thing. You know, it's kind of like I talk about, you know, food and things like that. Well, she says she can tell, just like your hairstylist. She says she can tell what, you know, my hair, my daughter's hair, you know, that how we eat and the supplements we take. You know, like my girls, their nails grow so fast and their hair, and, you know, because when COVID hit, everybody's hair got jacked up because I couldn't care for their hair, so their hair, you know, it was all, but it just grew back so fast. So when we finally got to our hairstyle, she had to cut off, you know, and get it straight. And then, because I remember in October, I got mine cut October 2019, cut it kind of short. And you would never know that today. So when those old, you know, pictures pop up, and I'm like, wow, look at it. And like, you know, you can't really tell, but it's you know, because it's natural. So that shrinkage is real, you know, that
it is. It's so real.
But it just grew back so fast because, you know, food and you know, the multivitamin is a hair, hair, nail, and skin vitamin. That's what it is. And so it grows back fast.
It does.
I cut mine off.
These are strong as rocks.
Yeah, I cut probably like once it go through a cycle. I always cut off all my nails, you know, probably once, I don't know, every 2 months or so, and they just grow back. I cut them again, they grow back. So I don't know. This is good. So okay, Kelly, I've enjoyed, you were a joy to work with. Let me just say that Kelly's always smiling. She just takes whatever I have to say. She's convicted. If she did wrong, she tells me she did wrong. She gets convicted. But I'm excited that you've learned, that you feel empowered, that you have more confidence, that you're proud of yourself, you're proud of the skin you're in, you know what I mean? Because that's important. And that you know, of course, your spouse is definitely satisfied, and your family, you know, has been an encouragement to you and all of that. And I'm just glad to be a part of it. I really am. So as we wrap up, is there anything, because there's some people that'll be watching and they'll go like, I don't know, is this for me? I don't know. Well, if you just could impart any words on those people that are watching, just to encourage them to give Sugar A Sweet a try.
I would say it's definitely worth the investment. I know I've tried a lot of different things throughout the years, and nothing even compares to the simplicity, but the consistency of this investment. Rochelle and Mike, they are so good with keeping you accountable, with being there to support you throughout each day. I know it was kind of crazy, but I remember on Thanksgiving, we would text back and forth, to let people know what you're eating. But I'm like, this is Thanksgiving. And yet even still on Thanksgiving, which is a day with family, you still felt a part of a family because somebody was still holding you accountable.
Yeah.
So I would say if you're on the fence about it, please just make that jump, make that leap, because you will not regret it. There's absolutely nothing I regret about this program. I know for myself, I'm like, okay, going forward, I know I'm gonna need to hold myself more accountable. I'm going to need to, remember the lessons that I've learned through Rochelle Steve Park's program, but also knowing that if there's ever any questions, that I know I can always go back out and reach out to Rochelle. A lot of times I know people think, okay, once I got done paying for X, Y, or Z, or once I've completed this program, now you're on your own. And even though it's me taking the next steps in my progress to keep going, I know that there's still a resource that I can come back to anytime to say, hey, I need help in this area. And they're really good to help you. I know a little while ago I mentioned that it's a simple program that everybody has their own different issues that they're trying to work on during this program, but you can still follow the same basic program. But the benefit of working with Rochelle and Mike is that, yes, you get a basic outline, but because they're working individually with you, they know how to tweak it. So that way, if something's not working with me, but it might be working with Jim over here, they can help me to manage myself within the guidelines of the program to get back on track.
That's
so
right.
You're absolutely never alone. Which is I think the biggest thing for me is you're never alone throughout this process. There's always somebody to reach out to, and their goal is like always to help you get to be in better health. So I love them. I love the program, and I would just say, if anything else, do it. Just give it a shot, because you're not going to be disappointed.
Yay! Just do it. Y'all heard Kelly. She dropped the mic. Boom.
Oh, there you go. Yes.
Yes. Love it. Love it. You're absolutely correct. This program has been a blessing. We don't take it lightly that God has put us in this position to help so many people. We're just vessels. We tell everybody we're just vessels. Every time I speak, I promise I just say, God, speak through me. I don't want to tell the people what I want them to hear. I want to tell them what they need to hear. You know what I mean? And because that's not always the same. Yes. I'm just made of flesh and blood too, so my ways ain't always the right way. And so God speak through me. And so Kelly, I thank you. I thank you for the opportunity. I thank you that you would trust us, to walk alongside you and help you to achieve optimal health. And I pray that this is just a gift that keeps on giving. So you're going to share as you have been with friends and family. And I look forward to seeing you next month.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome. Awesome. Guys, thank you for tuning in. Listen, share this, share. Don't be stingy. Share. You see the ticker along that. Listen, if you just want to know more, just get a consultation. Okay. That's the little calendar link down there. Screenshot it, click on it, whatever. And just get on the calendar and let's get to better health. Okay. That's all I got, guys. I am Rochelle T. Parks. I am your health motivator. And guess what? Whether you like it or not, I do not care. Okay. I can, I will, and I must continue to walk alongside you and help you to achieve optimal health. And we out. Peace. Yay.
Hey guys, before you go, I just want to let you know I am hosting a 7-day fruit and vegetable challenge on the first of the month. Guys, I do it every month. I've done it for the last 2 years. You say, why do I need that? Well, let me tell you what can happen in 7 days. In just 7 days, you can rid your body of the addiction to sugar, the addiction to salt. You can get rid of inflammation in the body. Guys, you can get mental clarity. You can sleep better. So many great things can happen in just 7 days. So don't delay any longer. Go ahead and click the link below and go ahead and sign up. We're getting started on the 1st, okay? I'll see you on the 1st. Let's go.